What's up guys, my name is ESO and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you where to find another 5 rare weapons in Fallout 76, including the Gauss Rifle. One of my favourite weapons finally made it into this video. And this is actually going to be probably the final video in this rare weapon series, since I've shown you guys where to find almost every single rare weapon in Fallout 76 now that's worth mentioning. So if you guys want to check out other rare and also unique weapons, check out my playlist linked down below in the description, which will show you literally every single rare weapon in the game. In the future though, I'll be doing guides on how to best use these weapons and build your character around them to get the most amount of damage for them. But being able to actually scavenge for some of these rarer weapons in Fallout 76 is very important, because in order to learn the modifications for rare weapons like the Gauss Rifle, you'll actually need to scrap it, because when you scrap weapons you have a chance to learn a new modification for it, like for example the night vision scope or silencer. So the locations I'm going to show you in this video are guaranteed spawn locations where these rare weapons will appear in the game. If instead though you're looking for legendary weapons with broken effects like 2-shot damage, check out my other video linked in the description on how to farm legendary weapons. I will link it below. But remember, since you cannot actually scrap legendary weapons, the only way to find rare modifications is by using this method. I hope that makes sense to everyone. So the first weapon on our list is the Fat Man location. The Fat Man can be found here on the map south from Vault 76 at the bottom edge of the map in the Ash Heap area. We'll be starting from the giant treehouse of the Hornwright Estate. And if you guys haven't already seen my video on how to enter this location, you can check it out in my live stream linked down below on the related guides section. Once you do arrive though, from this huge treehouse, you're going to want to come through the trees to the south, where you'll see a train station. That's where we're heading towards. I wanted to use this treehouse as a landmark reference because it's really obvious as a location to anyone playing this game. But this particular Fat Man that we're going to be picking up is for level 45 players, so it's the best version of the Fat Man you can obtain in the game. If you decide to grab it at level 1 or a very low level, that's fine, you can still deconstruct it or you can save it for later. But you can pick up this weapon multiple times because it's going to spawn for your character every single server reset, which is about once a week. Now the train station we're heading to is actually located at the Garahan mining headquarters, but once you get to the train station we're going to head up the stairs here all the way to the top, and as you can see this is obviously where the train would typically stop to drop people off who are working at the Garahan mining headquarters, which is also the same location you can obtain the excavator power armor, which gives you plus 100 carry weight. I'll link another guide in the description if you guys want that. But we're going to head upstairs to the very top, following these wooden scaffolds to actually get on top of the train station. You can tell somebody's been here before us, so we're going to take the next ladder up, so we're now standing above the track. Take care though, because the next part we need to drop down onto the track, which is heading in the north direction. Now to be honest with you guys, this is probably one of the most well hidden rare weapons we've covered on this series. It's the kind of location I like to cover because it's one of the few times I feel the game actually rewards you for exploring a location in a really strange way. And we're just going to follow this track along. It feels kind of like we're heading to the middle of nowhere, but just carry along around the curve. Again, take your time because if you're not in power armor, this fall will obviously kill you. This railway line in fact goes through most of West Virginia's southern and eastern side of the map. In fact, at the east side of the map there's even some bases that people have made inside the train carriages, so definitely check that out if you haven't already. But we're just going to follow the track around to the next platform where it ends atop a concrete support. You will find the Fat Man lying here, extremely hidden and impossible to see from the ground. This is obviously one of those weapons that will be very rarely looted by another player because it's so well hidden. But if it is in fact taken and not by you, you can just server hop and it will still respawn here. But it will always be a Fat Man that spawns here guys. And you can see that this is the level 45 version and it delivers over 460 damage with no explosive perks. So enjoy decimating Scorched Beasts and other parties with it. You can also, by the way, drop here by landing carefully on the concrete support without actually taking any damage, and that serves you having to walk all the way back along the track and risking dying. Now the second and third hidden weapon location I'm going to be showing you guys in this video is where we can obtain the Gauss Rifle and also the M79 grenade launcher. Now this is actually the only hidden location in the entire game where the Gauss Rifle will actually spawn, and I don't think anyone's actually found this location yet. You can obtain both these weapons though here on the map southeast from Vault 76. Not too far from the White Spring Hotel, but just north of the Uncanny Caverns, seen here on the map. We need to go to the relay tower though, which is close by at the top of the hill here. Once you do arrive, you'll be greeted by an iron fence, which we can easily dodge by just hopping over the side here. I recommend rushing the concrete bunker and ignoring the low-level laser turrets. They're not even worth attacking, just head on inside and we can kill some of the Scorched that always spawn here. Now the Scorched leader, around 70% of the time, will always have an M79 grenade launcher and some ammo for it as well. So this will always be leveled to your level, maxing out at level 45, which is the best version of the M79 grenade launcher, the lowest version being level 35 I believe. So obviously we're going to kill the Scorched leader and pick it up. Every single time you come to this location, he will be there with a grenade launcher and ammo for it, so it's actually an excellent location to farm. And inside, just on the iron shelf, we'll find a randomly spawning energy weapon. This is very, very important. If it is not a Gauss Rifle, do not pick it up. Just leave it there and don't touch it. Instead, what we're going to do is quit the game to the main menu, and we're actually going to server hop by pressing play again, and now the game will find us a new world to spawn in. And once again, we're going to head inside the same location and check to see if the Gauss Rifle has now spawned. If it hasn't, we're just going to server hop again, and we're going to do that repeatedly until it does spawn. Now, because of the way Fallout 76 works, if you pick up a weapon and then you server hop, that same weapon will not spawn for your character until the server reset, which is once a week. So what you need to do instead is not pick up the weapon at all and simply server hop until the Gauss Rifle spawns. Server hopping only takes 30 seconds because you spawn right next to the location, and it only took me 5 attempts to actually get the Gauss Rifle, and I've grabbed several from this location already to check that it really does spawn here repeatedly. But as you guys can see, it's the max level Gauss Rifle for level 45 players, so it does the max amount of damage. It also has a random amount of weapon attachments as well. And obviously guys, while you're doing this, you're also going to be killing the Scorched leader repeatedly and farming them for M79 grenade launchers and ammo. So it's actually a fantastic farming spot for explosive ammunition, which is otherwise rather hard to come by. Now the Gauss Rifle though is one of the most powerful and rare weapons in the game. It is unique in the fact that its damage depends on the amount of charge provided by its internal generator. You can simply hold down the trigger to charge the weapon up. It takes about 1.5 seconds for the charge to reach maximum capacity and damage. Then, when you release the trigger, it will fire out an empowered shot. Now the Gauss Rifle has a base damage of 110 and it uses 2mm EC ammo. The gun can be rather inaccurate at range, but it will also hit multiple targets grouped together with its quite large beam that it fires out when you fire it. You can of course increase your damage per second by firing the Gauss Rifle repeatedly instead of charging it, but I think you actually do less damage overall by doing so. The only issue I find with this weapon is in player versus player, when the enemy usually has a very high energy resistance. Then we also have the M79 grenade launcher. This weapon uses 40mm grenades and has a max weapon level of 45. It's pretty much the go-to explosive build weapon, delivering over 100 damage per shot in an area of effect. But of course the ammo is quite rare unless you're farming it at this location. So now we have the fourth weapon I wanted to show you guys, the location of the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw. It's located here on the map directly east from Vault 76 in the Sylvie and Sons logging camp. which is also, consequentially, the best source of wood in the entire game. Now once you do arrive, there will be a few low level bloatflies to take out, which should be pretty easy. Once you're done though, come over to the truck parked by the green tent. There's a chance the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw will spawn here. It may also be another random melee weapon though, so just like before, reload until it spawns for you. Now the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw itself has the fastest attack speed in the game, but only has a base damage of 10. You can also add the electrified modification to do some additional energy damage as well, and the mixed damage is nice, but the weapon's still not that effective. But there is a secret method to making this weapon the most annoying weapon in player versus player. But before I tell you about that, let me show you where to find the chainsaw as well, because the chainsaw is another very fast attacking weapon. And honestly guys, if you use this method I'm about to show you, you can really troll other players in Fallout 76. But first, to acquire the chainsaw, you must come here on the map to the southeast from Vault 76 to the mountainside bed and breakfast. It's not far away from Uncanny Caverns where we found the Gauss Rifle. Once you arrive, head on inside the yellow house and you'll find a few annoying robots to take care of. Now you'll notice the door on the right here is chained shut, and we will be going around the house to actually unlock it in a moment. But there is going to be a randomly spawning shotgun here at the stairs. I've already picked it up on this character though, so it's not spawned for me, but you'll get some ammo here too. After that, we're going to head upstairs and kill the remaining robots. Then we're going to go right into the next room and unlock the easy double doors. You'll also find a recipe on the table behind you. And in the next room there'll be a bobblehead and also a magazine sometimes on the desk here. So make sure you grab both of those items before heading downstairs. Once you've got them, head into the basement. This is where we're going to find the chainsaw, and again I already picked it up on this character, but here it is on another part I recorded. So make sure you pick up the chainsaw, but once you've picked it up, go back upstairs and you can actually find some more loot as well. There's lots of ammo and also a boss chest on the balcony if you unlock the door leading to it just here. Now, as for the chainsaw itself, like the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw, they're very similar. It can be upgraded with a flamethrower modification, which ups its energy weapon damage to 12, and its normal damage is a pitiful 1 damage. It once again has a very fast attack speed though, but for all intensive purposes, the Mr. Handy Buzzsaw is always the better option due to it having more damage and more reach when you're fighting other players and enemies. Now, in order to make these weapons super annoying in PvP, you can actually get this perk. It's called the Overly Generous perk. And at level 2, this perk will make your melee attacks of giving enemies and other players 50 radiation damage. Now, on the fastest attacking weapon in the game, this is really fun, as long as you're not on the receiving end of it. Now, the way this works is that the higher your character's radiation, the more chance you have of giving them rads. Now, when I recorded this example, I had no radiation at all, and I was only using the first level of the perk card, which means I'm doing the minimum amount of radiation damage. And as you can see, I'm still filling up a quarter of the other player's health with radiation. So imagine if you had the level 2 perk card of Overly Generous, and also you had lots of radiation yourself. You'd then be filling up the other player's health bar with tons of radiation, and it's the most annoying thing you can do in player versus player, because firstly, radiation damage ignores their armor completely, and also if that player dies, their radiation won't actually go away completely. They'll need to use Radaway in order to reduce it, so it's super annoying to do this to other people. But hey, I just thought I'd show you this at the end of the video just for some fun. And I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I hope it was helpful. Please give it a like if you did. And once again, guys, you can find all the other rare weapon locations linked down below in the description. But thanks very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more videos from the channel. And I will see you guys in the next one. So have a fantastic day and goodbye.